Hello, my name is Ellena. I'm from Jakarta, Indonesia, and I'm the chairperson of SINDIKASI. It is a labor union that working on the protection for flexible workers, including freelance, in this digital economy system. There are actually two main issues that we're working on. First is regarding the flexible labor market that put so many workers in precarity, and second is about mental health as part of the labor rights. When we talk about the mental health, we don't only talk about the precarious condition that the workers face, but also about the discrimination and harassment regarding of the sexual violation that they face in their working space. A flexible condition, it's quite hard to have health or social security system or need for health benefit from the employers. It is doubled or even tripled when it comes to women and other gender identity. Most of the time, the freelance women have to take care of their domestic works as well, and so they have to have this double burden on their life. And when it comes to freelance work, there is no specific boundaries between work and personal space. And when it comes to the mental health, many of the women and other gender identity receive this discrimination, sexual discrimination, and some of them also face sexual harassment that cannot be accommodated by their employers. We actually try to compile several cases regarding the overwork culture, and there are actually several cases in Asia which workers had to pass away because of their overwork culture. But one of the most relatable and memorable one is the case of Natalia. She was a copywriter in one well-known advertising agency in Jakarta, Indonesia, and she collapsed after the 30 hours of work. She said it in her last tweet, saying that 30 hours of working and still going strong. And there were some people trying to blow up the case, but we don't think that it's no longer that important to think that overwork culture is a form of exploitation. Actually, the case happened before our organization was formed, but we try to always bring that case whenever we're doing campaign offline. But I don't think the employers really give any explanation about this, and the employers, and just like many others creative agencies, will say that it is not fully the fault of the employers, because they will say that it is workers' choice to stay late at office, or it's workers' choice to not go home on time. Yeah. We ran this study like several months ago. The results say that most of the working conditions that cause high level of stress is the excessive load of quantitative and qualitative work that they have in their office or from their employers. They are forced to always be available and to show that they are fit and competitive enough to be in the field of work. We are running research and studies, many kind of things that we try to compile more data and empirical statistics from the workers to revise the labor law. But we also do the educational campaign to reach more workers so they can be aware of their own rights, so we can pick up about our rights as a collective movement. Shido and SDG is actually quite new for us. We don't really look into that instrument, but we usually refer ILO conventions because it will be strategically easier to talk to our government to show them that what is going on in the world and what this international organization is doing, that you have to prove that you are adaptive government. But we usually use national labor law and other national instruments so we can be more strategic when we were talking to other workers. They're not really familiar with any of those laws. I think the main challenge is that our government prefer to only listen to employers who are also part of the political party, and they are also they are being the representative of the people in parliamentary. And most of their entrepreneurs are quite influencing in our policy, so it's quite difficult for the workers to really speak about their rights. And most of the workers are being demonized by the government and the mainstream media. So yeah, I think it's the challenge to change it, because we are facing a big giant of oligarchs in the government. We try to reach more workers in our sectors and also other sectors, so we can talk about our class position in the country, so we can gaining more critical thinking from the workers to push the government to listen to us. We also make affiliation with other labor union and also other organizations, so we can have a bigger bargaining position to the government. Last year we made 2 position papers that we submit to several government bodies, including Ministry of Labor, and several months later they integrate our findings and recommendations, which is to include psychological factor as part of occupational safety and health.